We just got back from a 4-night stay at Disney's Art of Animation with our dog. So now that we have stayed at Disney's Art of Animation, I just wanted to go over our experience bringing our dog to this resort with also our pros and cons. So when we arrived to this resort, we actually got there very early, like we do typically, because we drive through the night, and our room was not ready right away. So since we had Remy, we could not really do anything, but because my sister came along, Wade wanted us to go to the park, so he and Remy actually hung around the resort while we were there. But before that, I did go in the lobby to check us in. And so while I was there, they had me sign the waivers and stuff that you have to do when you bring a pet. Remy did not come in the lobby this time with me. He did the last day that we did, and it was a really fun experience. But they saw pictures because, of course, we were talking about him, but they didn't ask me to bring him inside or anything like that. I wasn't really sure about a couple of things, so I wanted to make sure that we were clear on that before we brought him out and did some stuff. So I did ask the cast member if Remy was allowed on the entire loop of the track around the lake that connects to Pop Century, and she said yes, he was allowed. She was concerned. This was before she knew what kind of dog he was. She was concerned that we made sure that he stayed away from the water because there is alligators. Of course, it's Florida. She wanted to make sure that he was safe. So just keep that in mind, that there can be wildlife around, and yeah, it would be really smart to keep the animals away from the water. Remy is a water dog, so he really does like water, so we like to definitely keep him on the other side of the walking track if we possibly can, or at least on the other side of our bodies, to where we're protecting him from that. So when our room was ready, we made sure to first put our do not disturb sign up on the door. When you check in, they give you a do not disturb sign, and basically lets any cast members and housekeeping know that you have a dog in the room and that they should not enter unless you are answering the door. So that is a really good way to keep your pet safe. Another thing that you get when you check in with a pet, you are going to get a drawstring bag that has Pluto. It's really cute, and then it has a couple of things in there for your pet. So you will get a really large dog bowl. Since we had already stayed at a Disney resort, we already had one of these bowls, so we brought our old one along for this trip so we could put Remy's food, but also use the new one for his water. So we had two nice big large bowls. So a few other items that you will receive in your doggy bag is a map showing you where you are allowed to take your dog, but also where they have relief stations, and they also give you a roll of relief bags, and they give you a cute little dog tag. There is a nightly fee anytime you bring your dog to a Disney resort, and the price is based off of what resort you're staying at. So this resort, there is a fee of $50 plus tax per night for your pet to stay, and that will not be added onto your room until you check out. So they will charge whatever card you have on file. A few things to note if you are not familiar with bringing your dog to a Disney resort, or if this is your first time and you just kind of want to know. 3 things to remember where your dog is not welcome. They're basically welcome anywhere other than gift shops, dining, so anywhere that food is served, and then also the pool area. So they're not allowed in those areas. But basically anywhere else at a dog-friendly resort on Disney property, they are allowed. They're able to be on the walking trails and those relief stations that they have, which is basically all throughout those resorts. They're going to have those, and it's just super nice to know that going forward, so you know that you can bring them in the lobby when you check in, or you could just bring them in the lobby whenever. We definitely brought Remy in the lobby here at this resort and the other resorts. He gets a kick out of having people around, so that's something that he really loved. Also, another thing to remember is bring your documentations. So we have stayed at Disney property 3 times with our dog, all 3 this year, and we've never had to provide those documentations of shots or anything, but I would assume that you would need to have them on your person or just with your belongings if you have the dog, just in case something did happen. Okay, so we're gonna get into the pros and cons, and I want to start with the cons. Now, I do have more cons than we have ever had doing one of these, bringing our dog to a Disney resort. And I do want to be fair. So just to give you this information, this was a 4-night stay and we did 4 full days in the parks. We did not get to really hang out at the resort for a full day. So just keep that in mind. We spent 4 nights here. We were at the parks for 4 full days. And of course, we make sure to walk Remy and let him relieve himself 3 different times each day. So usually first thing in the morning while I'm getting ready, Wade will make sure he has a super long walk. And then in the middle of the day, we'll make sure to come back to the resort for a period of time and make sure that he is able to eat, and then he is able to go out and just enjoy himself, because this is his Disney vacation as well, not just ours. And then at night as well, I don't care how long of a park day it is, he has to get some sort of relief out. So he's a very high energetic dog. So if we make sure that he gets his 3 walks in, he will basically sleep for the rest of the day. He is a little bit older of a dog. He's 9 years old, but he does like to get that energy out. So we make sure that he at least gets those 3. Not everybody may agree, but this is just our experience. And our number one con for this resort is that it is spread out. Now, I said that earlier in this video, and I'm just going to explain that almost every Disney resort, we have no problem that it's spread out. It's really large. That's what we like about the resorts. But in some way, they are able to make everything accessible without having to feel like you are walking miles. So we don't mind being at the back of the resort. We usually prefer being at the back of the resort. We stayed in the Little Mermaid section this trip, and I will remind you that this was our first time staying here. This resort is catered to larger families. So being in the Little Mermaid section, we're at the very back. That's the only section that offers just regular sized rooms. And that's kind of where we ended up. So I did know going in that this was going to be at the back of the resort. I did know that it was going to be a hike to get to our room. And like I said, we've never had a problem with that, but it's intense. Let's just say this resort is not easy to do all of the things. So when we would walk Remy around, we were not able to go to the front where all of the action was, all the people were. We basically stayed really close to our room, and we really didn't come in contact with a lot of people, which that is something Remy really loves, is coming in contact with a lot of people. So we did not get that. Another con is, yes, this is a dog-friendly resort, but it does not have a dog park. So the fort, we stayed there in January, and it has a dog park. We stayed at Port Orleans Riverside, and if you haven't watched that review, you should, because that so far is our favorite dog-friendly resort. And honestly, if you're not bringing a dog, go stay there. It is awesome. But they don't have a dog park either. So we mentioned that in our cons in that video, and I just wanted to mention this place doesn't have a dog park. It would be really cool. And just to jump right into the pros, this resort has a ton of dogs. There was dogs everywhere. So this is apparently where the people are bringing the dogs on their dog-friendly stays. And it makes sense. It's catered to larger families. Maybe the whole family's going on a Disney trip. It's a dog-friendly resort. Nobody's able to stay back and hang out with the family pet, and they just bring them along. So maybe that is what it is. I'm not really sure, but this is the most dogs, other than when we stayed at the fort, this is the most dogs we've seen at Disney property. Remy doesn't mind a dog, but he didn't really come in contact with a lot of dogs or people, like I mentioned. So if we were doing stuff at the hub of the resort, it was probably because we were headed to the park, getting on a Skyliner, or getting some food or shopping or whatever. And it was never when we actually had Remy with us, because it just wasn't convenient, basically. So yeah, but the pros, I would say there is a lot of dogs, so that's really cool, especially if your dog likes other dogs and interactions with other dogs. But also people get to see people's dogs, and that's really cool too. Honestly though, I hate to sound like I'm complaining, because it's Disney and we love Disney, and we probably will forever be coming back and hopefully bringing our dog along, because we have so much enjoyed bringing him on the last couple of trips that we have been on this year. We actually have one planned for a couple months from now, so we're really excited for that. But I really don't have any more pros other than it's Disney World, and Disney World is our happy place. And Remy is our boy, so we love bringing him on all of our adventures that we possibly can. And I cannot believe that we have not brought him more than we actually have all these years going to Disney, and we've never really, not really sure why we never brought him, but I'm so happy that we started bringing him on our Disney trips. Not going to say that this is going to be an every trip kind of thing, but I'm not looking forward to the trip that we do take next that we don't bring him along. Really hoping that Disney starts offering more dog-friendly resorts, but we still have a couple more that we need to check out. We still have to go to the yacht club, and then we also have to go to the cabins at the fort. So we've been to the fort, we've stayed in our camper with Remy, and we did Port Orleans Riverside and now Art of Animation. And we have 2 more stays that we need to bring Remy to basically compare all of these stays and give you guys kind of like a pros and cons collaboration, or a pros and cons of like all the resorts combined. I can't wait to make that video for you, because that means we have stayed at all of the pet-friendly resorts at Disney and all the pet-friendly options of stays that they offer here. And that is something that we really love, and we love sharing it with you guys. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Hopefully it was helpful, and thank you guys for following along. We'll see you in the next one. Bye guys.